Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang, finally, with your morsels of a thought, number 1894. I am reading from, sorry, oh, goodness, the Rules Handbook. Yes, I'm under the weather. Um, the Rules Handbook was written by Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider. They wrote the rules. They wrote all the rules. Time-tested secrets for capturing the heart of Mr. Right. They also wrote the rules for marriage. And they wrote Not Your Mother's Rules as well. Today, we are also going to read from the end of the book, part of the end of the book, starting from day 269. Oh, excuse me while I yawn. In a recent op-ed article in the Los Angeles Times, a sociologist asked why women can't propose, claiming that men proposing is an archaic tradition. While that may sound good in theory, letting everyone be equal, we believe it makes the woman the aggressor and the man passive, which doesn't work in romantic relationships. It's upending the natural order of things, which is that men love to lead and love a challenge. It's making women become the more interested party. And as in life, as in love, the less interested party wins. It's the woman chasing the man, which will make her feel insecure, especially if he says no. She'll always wonder if he was going to do it first or ever. If a man doesn't propose, she can simply ask where the relationship is going, and then she'll have her answer. But no need to ask his hand in marriage. Ever. Will she buy the ring and get down on bended knee? Where will all this pseudo equality end? In the same article, the sociologist said most women said they would be embarrassed to propose, and most men said they want to do the proposing. So if you want popular opinion, you get that too. Don't be a diva. Oh, don't yawn. Oh. Now that you've got the ring and the wedding date, I've been doing it all day. Now that you've got the ring and the wedding date, does that mean you throw the rules out the window? No, you still need to follow the rules for engagement. You still don't see him 24/7. If you live together, don't be needy or glued to his side. Be independent and stay in your power. While planning the wedding, don't be a diva and be nice to his family and friends. Perhaps you want an elaborate affair. He wants something low key or vice versa. Don't demand that everything go your way. Some brides are so obsessed with the perfect party that they forget to include their fiancé in the decision making. Of course, if he's fine with you picking the flowers, venue, and everything else, great. But if he wants to be involved, let him. Posting pretty photos on Facebook and Instagram is not the goal. Being happily married is. We know it's hard if your whole life you've dreamed of a big fancy wedding, but your fiance would rather spend the money on the down payment for a house. Don't throw a fit or mope around complaining that he's being cheap. Pardon me. You can still have a beautiful wedding on a small budget. Send Evites instead of fancy invitations. Hire a DJ instead of a live band. Use candles instead of expensive floral centerpieces. Wear a simple slip dress instead of something poofy and pricey. Have a buffet instead of a sit down dinner. And ask your friends to take photos and videos instead of hiring a photographer. Better to get along with your future husband and buy a house for a lifetime than blow the same money in 5 hours. And of course, many details can go wrong with even the best wedding planning. So Try not to be a bridezilla. Now lay low. If you're engaged, lay low and don't flash your ring in a friend's face or post incessantly on social media, assuming that they will be happy for you. Some people, even close friends who are still single, may not be able to take the good news. Unless they are your BFF and your good news is their good news, better that someone else tell them or they read about it online. When talking to insecure, jealous, or not the happiest or depressed friends, try to downplay it if it all comes up at all, or preferably tell them about your bad back or other problems. Social media has made weddings more competitive. Everyone wants to post the perfect venue, six-tiered cake, daddy-daughter dance, designer wedding dress with long train and tiara, 5-inch Manolo Blahnik heels, heartwarming vows, and charming toasts. Before you get caught up in all the photo ops, remind yourself that getting along with your husband before, during, and after the wedding is more important than how everything looks on Facebook and Instagram. Not sharing isn't lying. This is being a good, thoughtful friend. It's being your higher self, putting their feelings before your own. This is like dating. Being honest but mysterious. If you found your soulmate and your friend can't get a second date, they might be a tad jealous. It's human nature. If you want to keep friends, don't brag from your lower self. Now, take the high ground. A client's dream guy proposed. She wanted Whitney Houston's upbeat I Want to Dance with Somebody as her wedding song. Her husband wanted something more subdued but meaningful. All I Ask of You from Andrew Lloyd Webber's The Phantom of the Opera. She called all her bridesmaids, and most of them took her side because they wanted to dance. She and her husband argued about it, and she contacted us. We told her you can play dancing music all night, but your wedding song should have more weight and depth than disco. Anywhere you go, let me go too. Love me, that's all I ask of you. If your husband cares so much to choose something so heartfelt, go along with him. Focus on what matters most. In general, we believe in taking a husband's last name as it's traditional, and the rules are traditional, but it's an individual decision, which is why we offer private consultations to discuss the pros and cons. Sometimes a client wants to keep her maiden name or hyphenate it with her husband's last name because of her career or because she loves her father, who only has daughters and wants to keep her last name going. Others want to keep their maiden name because they are celebrities, VIPs, or authors. However, Jennifer Lopez decided to take Ben Affleck's last name because it's traditional and romantic. What if your partner, Jennifer Affleck, what if your partner asks you for a prenup? Rules girls are not gold diggers, so we have no problem signing a prenup. But if she has more money, she can ask him to sign her prenup. We don't believe that money is a big factor in a rules marriage. You both married for love, for richer or poorer, so it's not a deal breaker. The rules still apply even at your own wedding. Let your husband find you in the crowd and ask you to dance. When you want to blow the budget, remember it's more important to be happily married than to have an Instagram perfect wedding. Marriage is about compromise. When you're engaged, don't be a bridezilla. Also, try to be sensitive and helpful to single friends who haven't been so lucky in love. Hmm, interesting. The rules not only work for dating, romantic partners, and husbands, but for various other committed relationships you have in your life. All committed relationships need the rules. If you're the type of person who thinks she has the answer for everyone, if only so and so did this or so and so did that, everything would be wonderful. Remind yourself that you are not a relationship expert. This is when you need to pull back and realize that no one's asking for your advice. It sounds altruistic to want to save the world, but it can also be intrusive if no one is asking. This week, focus on wanting to be asked for help from everyone in every area of your life, including waiting for those on social media to contact you first. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. Remember, the road to hell is paved to. Remember, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Now, that's by the Vicar of Wakefield. The book, The Vicar of Wakefield, by Oliver Goldsmith. He said, "The primrose path to hell is paved with good intentions." Giving unsolicited advice can be misconstrued as meddling and also takes away precious time that could be spent on yourself. As spiritual leader Emmett Fox said, "Those who mind other people's business always neglect their own." What are you neglecting in your own life? Don't do that and leave everyone else alone. Rules for friends. Even with the best of intentions, chances are you will ruin a relationship if you give unsolicited advice. If you say to a girlfriend, "Hey, I've noticed you're always hooking up and getting hurt. Boy, do I have a book for you." She may not take it well. She should call you and ask you for help based on the way you date and live. When you call her, you could possibly catch her at a bad time and get a cold shoulder, like when you call a guy who is watching a ball game and he gets off the phone first. Ouch. Wait for women to ask for your advice like you wait for men to ask you out. Rules for buyer beware people. You probably think that buyer beware only applies to men. Not so. Anyone, including family members, friends, and people you work with, can be buyer beware people if they are only or primarily interested in you in order to get something. I have somebody like that. All they want is advice. All they want. But they never ask how I am. Oh well. Uh, it doesn't really matter all that much. I mean, you just have to limit your time spent with people that do that. Maybe they want to meet your cute brother. Social climb, someone famous or belong to a country club. Have you fix their computer, write their resume, or act like their therapist. It's not mutual. Their motives are not pure, and if you didn't help them with whatever, you wouldn't hear from them that much. Buyer beware. Next, love only those who love you and don't use you. Okay. Uh, excuse me. Excuse me. My mother used to say, "Excuse me." That was her accent. Rules for coworkers. Do you feel your coworker is taking advantage of you? Your boss put you on a project with her, but you're doing most of the work. She takes long lunches, and that annoys you because you eat a sandwich at your desk to get more work done. You want to have a few words with her, but you're stuck because your boss likes her. Do you have a history of watching what other people do and getting mad? We believe do your work and go home. Don't be a bean counter or a martyr, and don't care too much. Life is a long road. You never know when she'll help you out or put in a good word. Or just get another job. Okay? I'll talk to you later, old Kinderhook.